Friday night duels off and running, and here in Raleigh, it's an in-state matchup. App State out of the SoCon, newly named number 6, NC State, and one of the best moments in sports. Friday night wrestling, we got two really good programs battling it out inside Reynolds Coliseum. Welcome into Reynolds with a 5-time All-American, Trent Hidley. I'm EvanBudrovich. First and foremost, two really good programs you'll see come NCAA tournament time. And Trent, what's the best part of dual matchups?
The best part of dual matchup, we're back in Reynolds Coliseum. First home dual meet for NC State. Like you said, a great in-state rival match against App State. They're always super stingy, always very gritty wrestlers, always in great shape. NC State in Pennsylvania last week had a win over Campbell, some tight losses at the Journeyman Collegiate Classic, so they're coming in, they want to make a statement, be aggressive right away, and App State's certainly not going to lay down for them. It's going to be a great match. Let's
dive into some of the key bouts tonight. Obviously 10 total, but these 5 keeping an eye on. And look at our ranked matchup, Will Miller versus Derek Fields.
Yeah, this is a great match. It's from top to bottom, a lot of great matchups, but 165 specifically, our only ranked-on-ranked matchup. Will Miller, number 8 in the country, looking to get back to the national tournament, All-American for the first time. Derek Fields, a national qualifier last year, coming in tonight with a little bit of momentum, a little bit of contrasting styles from both of these wrestlers, so it should make for a great match.
And who's going to fill the shoes of 197 for yourself, Trent Hidley? We'll find that out tonight for NC State. Plenty more when we return. Wolfpack Mountaineers next on ACC Network Extra. Welcome back to Reynolds Coliseum, home opener for NC State, and we'll start at 1:33 tonight. App State, NC State. A Always hard to tell in these openers who's going to slide in the lineup card for the Wolfpack. But here's the intro, 133 for Troy Holman coming in, redshirt sophomore. Holman from Harrison City, Pennsylvania. He'll take on Chad Bellis, the senior, out of Bloomington, Illinois. And round one is underway. 10 total competitions. NC State won 40-3 last year in Boone, but App State 2 years ago picked up 4 bout victories. Always competitive with these two programs.
Yeah, this is low-key a great matchup here. Troy Holman is great at scrambling. He creates a lot of action off of good defensive rules. And Chad Bellis, watching him recently, very good upper body. He wants to get to double underhooks and off of his leg attack. So he'll take a shot, come up to double underhooks, and look to go big.
Chad Bellis, NCAA qualifier from a year ago, finishing second in the SoCon. Troy Holman putting on some weight this year from 125, moving up a class.
Yeah, Troy's a guy in the lineup that has benefited from the training partners in the room. Spent some time at 125, wrestled a lot with Jacob Camacho and Kai Orini, who was at 133. This year, getting a little bit bigger, putting his hat in the line, in the lineup at 133, and you got to lean off that experience with your training partners to come out and get some wins starting out in the season.
These weight classes, 125, 133 there. High flying, a lot of action early.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing right here is both guys kind of feeling each other out a little bit, working in the hand fight. And typically the first minute of a match, you'll see that with two even competitors until guys start to pick up the action and look for their attacks.
Holman with a good block right there.
Yeah, both guys doing a great job of using their head for defense. One of the things you're taught early on, your head is your first point of contact for defense. When you're down blocking, when a guy takes a shot, you want to get your head in there to block, and that's the hardest to penetrate through as the offensive guy.
Bellis, who had a top 25 RPI last year at 133, a couple of ranked wins as well. He is one of App State's strongest competitors for Coach John Mark Bentley.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, who picks up the pace a little bit here. We're at 54 seconds in the first period. Such a huge part of college wrestling is if you can get takedowns at the end of a period. If you can get a takedown to a ride out, it really sets you up well for the next couple of periods into the match. So I'd like to see one of these wrestlers start taking some risks, get to a takedown, take control of the match, just as you see Troy Holman get a great single.
Holman with the turn.
Nothing yet here. So what Troy Holman needs to do is either hook this bottom leg. He's continuing and looking to maybe put him on his back. Nothing here. Nothing here quite yet. Bellis doing a great job passing the leg.
Bellis' escapability, that was a near pin position.
Great defense by Bellis, not giving up on the position. In a very precarious situation, Troy Holman had a great single leg. He felt like he was getting stuffed. He head-wheeled his way out and looked for the attack, but Bellis never gave up on the position and passed the leg and got back up to his feet. Awesome defense. And so Troy Holman is, he does a great job staying in on the single. He feels stuff, gets his head to the other side, but Bellis never gives up here, and he continues the position. And that's what we're talking about with these App State guys. They are never going to give up an easy takedown. Everything that you get, it's going to have to be earned.
And who can get the first reversal point of the night?
Yeah, what
takes down early for NC State.
Yeah, what you saw there is Troy Holman starting on bottom, and that's part of his style. He wants to create kind of this chaotic action by rolling, oftentimes from the bottom position. Bellis went to throw legs in. Troy Holman was able to hit a Granby roll, threaten him on his back to a point where he could wiggle out and get a reversal.
There's an opportunity for an escape point for App State. But Holman holding tough. And now 1 point granted there for App State.
Yeah. So what just happened there? We have an illegal cutback. When you're on top, you can't leave both of your feet to knock out the bottom guy's feet. If you leave both your feet and you put pressure on their feet, the official is going to call that a 1 point technical violation. So that's a big point for Bellis. You know, you get the technical point. Now if you get an escape, you're back tied up and it's 2-2 instead of getting the escape in 2-1. That's a huge point that could come to play later in this match.
And now we're tied 2 apiece after the first round takedown. A couple of escapes here for Bellis.
See the action pick up there. Bellis gets in a good re-attack. Again, you're seeing some of this acrobatic scrambling that Troy Homan's really good at. Puts himself to his back. You would think that's a terrible idea, but it works for him, and he gets a leg, and now he's coming up in this head in the middle position looking for a takedown. What he needs to do a better job here is hook that leg. You see he hooks that leg, push at the knee, hip up. He should get the takedown here if he can double off. He's very close to a takedown. There he just got rewarded.
Second takedown for Homan tonight.
So the biggest difference here between that first situation, the first period, when Homan got back there, he was able to isolate the bottom leg. He hooked the bottom ankle, and that restricted Bellis from being able to scramble anymore. Once you get that ankle hook, you're in the driver's seat. You can start attacking the upper leg and get your hips up for a takedown.
So a quick timeout to check on both wrestlers here. It looks like a challenge from John Mark Bentley. He's got the block ready.
Well, I think what ended up happening, I think Coach Bentley threw the brick, and the refs might have took it upon themselves to say, hey, we're going to look at this again. We want to check this for a takedown.
John Mark Bentley, the Carolina grad of 2001. 16 years now at App State. He's won 2 of the last 3 SoCon titles. And our first challenge of the night for this officiating crew. It's so interesting going on your back to create the angle to almost flip the opponent wrestler.
It is a very stressful style of wrestling that Troy Homan wrestles. It is certainly not the way I like to wrestle, but hey, that is what this sport is all about. Everybody has their own skill set. Troy Homan feels very comfortable putting himself in precarious situations and being able to wrestle through positions. I see him do it all the time in the practice room. It freaks me out a little bit, but that was a great ability to scramble, generate his own offense off of Chad Bellis's re-attack.
They continue to check out that replay about the 3-point takedown as we started at 133 tonight.
Yeah, I'm a little confused at why they're looking at. They must be looking at something different. I almost think if maybe they were looking to see if they should have started the stall call on Troy Homan when he was dropped down, because that's a clear takedown as soon as he gets his hand out and wraps around the legs. Yeah, right there, it looks like a clear takedown to me.
And this is exactly what the refereeing crew's looking at. Same angle and everything. Looks like we have a decision.
We may be able to tell by the NC State crowd reaction whether whether they agree with it or not.
So upon further review, could write a Hollywood script here as the PA announcer.
Yeah, sure.
Sends it to us.
Yeah, I'm really confused by that.
And they're going to also take the full 3 points off. So that's where the fans finally get the news. Pat Papalizio there, sitting on 247 career wins, 166 here at NC State.
And here's the thing about a situation like this. As a wrestler, you can't control any of it. You did the work to get yourself a takedown. It gets wiped off. How are you going to respond? And I think that's a big part of the way that Coach Papalizio teaches is putting his athletes in positions where we're going to give you some adversity that may not make sense. How are you going to respond to it? And this is a perfect example of that. You get a takedown, it gets wiped off the board. You've just had a 2-minute break. How are you going to respond finishing out the second period and going into this match? And on Bellis' side, you get a little bit of a, possibly a fresh start here.
And most importantly, 3 points taken off the board. So we're back even. Final 30 seconds of this second round.
I mentioned it before in the first period. Getting a takedown at the end of periods is huge. As you notice, Bellis gets in a re-attack. This is a great opportunity. Bellis has got to pull this in. He's got 15 seconds to score. This is a big moment in the match.
Now inside 10 seconds. Holman holding firm. And a stalemate ends round 2. And the advantage of being on bottom to start this round could be a point chance for App State.
Yeah, absolutely. And you go back to that technical violation earlier in the match with Troy Holman on top. Without that, it's 2-1 going into the third period where an escape ties it up. Now Bellis gets an escape. He's up 3-2 in the third.
Near escape.
Yeah, you're going to see it, and also a locked hands call there on top. Interesting. Not what you would think of traditional locked hands, but his hand touched his forearm as he had a deep tight waist, which his hands are touching. That's a point. This is a tough situation now. You just gave up the escape point. You just gave up a locking hands point. Now you're down 4-2. You still need to take down the win. But with it being 3-2, you can find other ways to get 1 point. Now you need to take down the win if you're Holman.
Keep an eye on that riding time, too. Only 32 seconds, so no bonus point.
Yeah, if you're Bellis here, you want to do a good job at holding center and letting that time tick off. Holman's going to be starting to generate more offense and pick up the pace. As he gets in, Bellis gets in on his own leg attack. And gets his own takedown. That really should ice this in the third period. That's going to be hard to come back from.
Another hand lock here. But what a start for Chad Bellis. 1 point for NC State, but it's 7-3 with just under a minute.
Yeah, I just said that just about ices it. Now, you flip it a little bit with the locked hands call. He got on that low double and his hands kind of just naturally went to it. If Holman gets an escape here, he still has, probably around 45 seconds. He's got to go now. He's got to get an escape to give himself some time to get a takedown to tie it up.
Riding time will not be a factor in this third round. We have another foul there.
Another locked hands by Bellis. Coming off of Troy's another rule, like I said, he does such a good job at generating situations that a lot of guys aren't comfortable with. He gets the locking hands point, he gets his escape. He's down 7-5 with 15 left. He's got to look to get a fresh start here and get back to the center.
Remember,
as he does.
Takedowns worth 3 points now in college wrestling. This could be a huge 11 seconds.
Yeah, Holman's going to take a stall call there. He's got to get a fresh start. It's a good one to take. He's got 11 seconds. What's your go-to takedown to go get right now?
Final 10 seconds in our opening bout. Bellis had a 7-2 lead. Holman running out of time. And an opening point for App State.
Yeah, great job by Bellis staying in there. He got to take down the third period to give himself the 7-2 lead. A couple locked hand violations, but he was able to give himself a big enough lead where Holman could get the escape. He could stay in the center and let the time go out. Yeah, it looks like another challenge brick thrown by Bentley. I'm guessing on the locked hands call, they may not have agreed with it. The one official on the far side saw it. The other official didn't call it, so they may look at this again. And
it would still be a decision, a 3-point win for App, right? You're not trying to get bonus points here.
Yeah, this is again, this is a little bit of a confusing brick because think about college wrestling. You have a challenge. If you lose a challenge, that's the only one you get for the duel. They've already won the match. If you challenge this and you don't, and it fails, you lose the ability to challenge the rest of the duel. You may have been better off keeping this one in your pocket unless they really disagree with it and they think they have a great chance of winning.
An App State club that 2 years ago won 4 matches here against NC State. Nothing new for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, great start for App State. That's exactly what you want to do when you're coming in on an away match, especially in a place like Reynolds Coliseum. The first person you send out there, you want to start the dual meet out strong. Bellis did a great job at weathering the storm of Homan's kind of chaotic actions with his rolls and his Granbys, especially from the bottom position. He got a takedown of his own in the third period, and he did a great job holding on for a win. We'll see with the challenge, but as of now, a great start for App State to go up 3-0 in the dual meet. A little more anticipation for 141 too, huh?
Absolutely. Now for NC State points become huge for Kaya Rainey, who's up next, and we'll check out this replay again.
Yeah, so there's the roll. You see Troy Homan rolls. Bellis still has his hands locked. There's not much reaction time here, so his hands are still locked as he comes down. I could see this being upheld for locked hands. Yep, and they do uphold the official ruling. And now, like I said earlier, App State loses their brick for the rest of the duel. That could be pivotal in these upcoming matches when there may be a close call that they don't agree with. They no longer have that brick to challenge.
So App State with the 3-0 start on the scoreboard. And here's Pat Papalizio, who talking this week, he noted, hey, when the dual mindset shifts, you've been in this moment, Trent, as a competitor. Good outing against Campbell last week, but now we need to lock in heading into a big dual stretch.
Yeah, and duels are a little bit different, especially, they had Campbell and then they went right into the Journeyman Collegiate Classic, which is a tournament a little more individualized. When you have a dual meet, there's more structure. You're with their team. You have camaraderie going on your side. There's a lot of momentum shifts that go in, and you're in your home gym at Reynolds Coliseum. There's a ton of excitement, and I think you're going to see a lot at this weight here.
From an ACC Coach of the Year to a SoCon Coach of the Year, John Mark Bentley, his club won the tournament title in the SoCon last year 7 times. Out of 16 years, he's won the conference title. And now we get you set for 141. Introductions coming here for NC State. There's Kaya Rainey, the 2-time All-American, couple-time qualifier, and he'll match up with Sean Carter. There's some familiarity here at 141.
Yeah, this is a great matchup. Sean Carter won this match a couple years ago in Reynolds Coliseum against Kaya Rainey in sudden victory. So these guys are familiar with each other. Kai has gone on to be a 2-time All-American, one of the more exciting wrestlers in college, and I know a lot of people tune in. He's got a great mullet, too. Carter is coming in. He's competitive. A big win over Sam Latona last week, a big ranked win for him. He's coming in with a lot of momentum. He's going to look to keep the momentum going from Bellis's win for App State, and just like that, he's in on a big double leg looking to finish.
And a chance for a quick takedown. There it is. 3-0 start for App State. Carter, who beat Arini in sudden victory here in Reynolds a couple of years ago, also has battled it out, redshirting last year, but back and healthy.
Yeah, it's about as good as a start as you can get, getting a takedown right off the bat. Kai, you see, reach back there to get an escape. He's very dangerous. When he'll try to put guys into positions to make them uncomfortable, Carter does the smart thing to cut him and get back on his feet. It was a great attack. We'll see if he can keep up that high-octane offense. He's very hard to score on. He's very long. And Kai, kind of like Homan a little bit, is kind of chaotic in his own right. So he'll look to create some flurries and get to his re-attacks as well.
Kai only lost 2 matches last year. Both were to top 10 wrestlers. A 2-time ACC champ, but moving up a weight class this year. That's been the story for Pat Papalizio, readjusting his lineup.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that as well. I spent 5 years at 184. My final season, I went up to 197. For me, it was a great move. Just like for Kai, it's a great move. 133 became a really brutal cut for him. And 133 as a 6-year senior is just a ton on your body. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much goes into that in terms of balancing your training and weight cutting and competing. I think with him at 141, he's going to be able to train a little bit harder as he goes for a big move. Carter plants him on his back, looking for a fall.
So it's 6-2 with the escape at the end.
Yeah, interesting flurry there. Kai had an over-under. He goes for a lat drop, maybe a little ill-advised, didn't have the correct pressure. Carter gets the takedown, doesn't end up getting any back points. Kai wrestles through the position and gets an escape, so they're back on their feet. Like I said, there's going to be some good flurries here.
Carter, uber aggressive, the 6th-year senior. He's got 2 career top 25 wins. And you see Irani there, number 7 in the country at this weight class.
Yeah, Kai, like I said, coming off 2 All-American finishes at 133, going up to 41. There's going to be a little bit of an adjustment for him in terms of figuring out the style of wrestling. Guys are going to be a little bigger. And when you go up a weight class, sometimes your attacks don't work, but you also find out other attacks that work better. So you see Carter back in on a leg. Great outside single leg shot.
Carter get that second leg.
So Kai's giving great defense here. This is what we call a shin whizzer. And when you're in this whizzer position, you're putting a ton of pressure on the opponent's shoulder. It makes it really, really hard for you to pick that leg up, and it gets to a stalemate position. So Kai, a great shot by Carter getting the leg. Kai right to a shin whizzer defense, getting pressure on him and getting the stalemate.
Final 25 seconds. 2 early takedowns for Carter.
Yeah, if you're Carter going into the end of this first period, you really want to hold position here. Kai's going to look to try to get a takedown, steal one at the end of the period. Only 8 seconds left. Great start for Sean Carter. I'm really impressed with his ability to finish and defend Kai Orini's big throw early in the first period.
And Carter, right out of the gates in this round, goes with that quick takedown.
Yeah, I think this is a big point of emphasis for App State is getting to their attacks early. As soon as the whistle blows, they're looking for their offense. They don't want to let the NC State guys dictate the action. They're going to create the action right away.
NC State will start on bottom here in round 2. So a point scoring opportunity.
You see Kai reach over back there again. He likes to put guys in uncomfortable positions, kind of forces the guy to give up and escape so you don't get into a weird throw. Now with the 3-point takedown, you're only a takedown away from tying the match back up. So you're never truly out of the match if you keep getting your escapes. That's a big part of
as a wrestler. With
wrestling.
That rule change from 2 to 3 points, how does that change your mindset?
Well, I loved it for me, especially because I was someone that always wanted to go get bonus points, and I loved getting takedowns. If I could get more takedowns, if I could push the pace on my feet, I ended up getting rewarded a lot for it. And it just changes the dynamics. If you're a guy that's given up a couple of early takedowns, a comeback's not out of the question at any point in the match. You can really rack up some points quick.
We're in about 2 of the night. 133 going to App State. And gearing up for the final minute here of this second round.
Yeah, Carter's done a great job from space finding his attacks. Look, Kai's going to have to do something a little bit different here to get past his head-hands defense and create some opportunities. You do see him picking up his pace a little bit with some snaps and some angles.
John Mark Bentley noted with Carter, he has to manage his emotions, and this quick start certainly helps. There's more good position.
Yeah, great defense by Orini, stuffing the shot. Now he's got to try to look to make this his offense here in the front headlock. He's got a Russian tie on the left side. Carter doing a great job of getting his head in the way and blocking.
Disengaged with 20 seconds left in the round. Who can get the last shot here in the final 10 seconds?
Yes, this third period could get interesting. Orini, pretty well known for being very good on top. He's got some great tilt series. He's very stingy on top. He rides hard. Carter's going to go down. I imagine he feels very confident he can get to his feet, but this is not a position if you're Carter that you want to relax. If you relax, Orini can get to his turns on top. So if you're Carter, you got to get to your feet right away and get an escape, build your lead, get back to neutral. Just as he does there. Great stand up off the whistle.
That riding time now inside 20 seconds, and what a turn. We have an injury here. Oh no, the knee. And here's the athletic training staff for App State coming out. Annika Garcia, Jill Steinbrick, and we certainly send our prayers and hopes for Sean Carter.
Yeah, this is just really unfortunate. Carter was a guy who last year had a season-ending knee injury. Not sure if it's the same one. Man, just such a great start here to this match. You never want to see something end like this.
we're just going to show you this once, but it is tough to see.
Yeah, it looks like Kai just kind of goes basic mat return, kind of buckles a little bit.
Sean Carter getting helped up to his feet. And you can tell it's going to be hard to put any weight on that, unfortunately.
Yeah. And, you know, the crazy part, as a wrestler, you always want to try to tough it out. It's like you're in these situations, you always think you can do it. He's in great care here, whether he can finish the match or not. You know, as a competitor, he's wrestling so well. He wants to keep going. But if you're compromised, it makes it extremely difficult wrestling at Division I level, let alone a returning All-American.
And unfortunately, this could be a disqualification due to injury. It looks like they're going to wrap this up. Great effort, and we hope the best for Sean Carter, who will exit via injury.
Yeah, just really unfortunate, and Arini is going to end up getting the win. It wasn't, you know, anything that he did illegal that caused the injury. It's just a terrible thing, a freak accident. And you know, NC State is going to get 6 points here. Not the way you want to get them, but.
And we'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll move along to 149 after this. welcome back to Reynolds, this in-state matchup for the 44th time. Last App State win in 2010. The Pack have won 11 straight in the series, but as we've seen through two bouts, very competitive rivalry tonight.
Yeah, no, App State has really come out great tonight, and unfortunately with the injury at 141, NC State is up 6-3, but through two bouts, App State has looked great. You know, they're fighting through every position. They're getting to their offense. They're doing all the little things right, and it's paying dividends in the matches.
What a headshot for Coy Bisgins. He's a natural scrapper at 149. Caden Kaiser out of Winter, South Dakota, and we get underway in this third matchup.
It's been interesting with Coy. He's had that cut on his nose for about 2 months now. He just can't quite seem to get at the heel.
As you'd expect at the scrappy 149 weight class. Last year he redshirted at 141.
Yeah, Coy is very fundamentally sound. Will not make a ton of mistakes. He's a little shorter for the weight class, harder to get to his legs. He wrestles hard on top. And Kaiser, talking to Coach Bentley, tried to get down to 141 last year, spent some time at that weight class. It was just really hard for him to make the weight back up to a more natural weight class at 149 where they feel like he can wrestle his best this season.
Kaiser was a four-time high school champ. Those are insane numbers, 187 and 3. It's like Trent Hidley's numbers here at NC State.
Yeah.
A few less wins, but you get the point.
Yeah, sure. And he does a great job from the open. Watching some of his matches, he'll attack both sides of the body. He'll stay in tie-ups, and then as he breaks contact, he'll look to get to a quick shot right away. I've seen that kind of from a lot of the App State guys, is they like to shoot from the open, and they'll go to both sides of the body, so you have to be on your toes.
In the first two bouts, App State got early takedowns, 1-1, and then the injury DQ in the second.
A lot of heavy hand fighting here. You see Bisgins tries that post to a high C. A lot of times, like I said, early in these matches, the first minute and a half, 2 minutes is a lot of hand fighting. You start to get a feel for these guys. Now you can start to, after you felt what they're doing with their ties, you can start to work more towards your offense and generate some setups.
Action here, gentlemen, action here.
See Kaiser's controlling inside tie on with his left hand. What he's doing, he's slowing Coy down. He's winning the hand fight battle here, getting inside, setting up his shots. You always want to be working to get back to your inside. You can start your snaps from there, but when you're over top, it's hard to get your shots going to shoot through those arms.
So we tick under 40 seconds in this first period.
A little outside step by Kaiser. Just didn't quite bring his hips in enough, but it's a good look. And oftentimes when you do that early in a match and you get a piece of the leg, you get a little bit of confidence yourself. Next time you take that shot, I can penetrate a little bit more. I can go for it a little bit more and fully commit to that shot for a takedown.
And you're right, with Biskin's small size, that's hard for Kaiser to reach down and grab the leg.
Yeah, it sure is, and that's where setups become pivotal. You've got to make sure you have a good setup. And at the college level, it's very rare that you get an easy takedown just off a one-off shot. You've got to put the work in, set them up, get the guy to move, create an angle, and then work for your number one attack.
NC State will start on bottom here in round two. It's a weight class for App State that's been really good at 149. Cody Bond, an All-SoCon. Jonathan Milner, an All-American a couple years ago.
Some early swipes here for Kaiser on top. Bisgins went to a sit-out right off the bat, and Kaiser collected his wrist and got it tight and got an easy tilt for 2 back points. A great way to start the second period.
Still a chance for an escape here for NC State. Down 2, halfway through. And there's the point.
And you can kind of see the NC State coaches just playing with Bisgins. Get your offense going. Be aggressive. Go get to offense. They don't want to see this being a low score affair. They want to see their wrestler go after and create some points, just as the App State guys are doing.
This is a loaded 149 class in the ACC. Caleb Henson, Kyle Parko out of Iowa. Some good opponents. And here's a quick whistle in an injury moment to check on that bloody nose.
And there's pretty high expectations of Bizgens coming into the season. He redshirted last year. You have Jackson Arrington, who manned the weight for 2 years. He's redshirting this year. Coy's expected to step in and be competitive right away. A little bit of a slow start to this match, and similar to 133 when there was a technical violation going into third period. Right now, it's up to Bizgens to push the pace. He's down 2-1 with Kaiser getting choice in the third period. He's got to work to be offensive to put this back into his favor. Now back to that same shot that Kaiser missed earlier. I said he was building confidence. Got in a little deeper. Coy fed good hips. Back to his offense. Big takedown.
For the takedown.
And so what you saw there is Bizgens get to a re-attack. He down blocked. Kaiser got to a shot. He went defense, got to his own underhook, and wrestled right to a far knee pick. Great wrestling by both guys, and Kaiser responding to get an escape.
So it's 4-3 as we tick under 20 seconds.
And again, I'll note it again. So huge to be able to get scores at the end of the period, but also to be able to escape at the end of the period. It would have been really easy for Kaiser to get, you know, I guess, frazzled there after the takedown and stay down. He had 20 seconds. He got right up to his feet, and he got his one. And now he can go down, get his escape again, and tie it up.
How about this flurry of an effort from Bizgens?
Yeah, great wrestling. Defends the shot, defends the duck under, goes right to his underhook, and drives through the far knee for a takedown. Great chain wrestling is what we like to call that, putting multiple moves together at once.
Keep in mind that riding time's under 20 seconds. App State with a 15-second advantage. And now 1 point on the escape.
And so Kaiser's been close twice on that outside step to Bizgens' right leg. Be interested to see if he pulls that again and can get his offense going. Maybe switching it up a little bit, knowing that he went to it last time and got re-attacked. Bizgens not a whole lot of offensive attempts on his own. It'll be interesting to see this last minute and a half play out. Who's going to be the guy that looks to be aggressive to go get the takedown to win the match?
An early win for Chad Bellis, then an injury DNQ. Irini gets 6 points. And now round 3, this is real tight in the third bout.
One minute, guys.
Another shot by Kaiser. Bizgens re-attacks. He's in a position he wants to be. He loves the underhook. Right to a near side single. Kaiser has a good whizzer there. He rolls.
And now a chance to gain position. What an escape.
Got to be ready for a roll here.
There's the takedown for NC State.
Yeah, great flurry by Bizgens, stopping the roll. Kaiser rolled originally, kept the wrestling going. He's in rear standing, he's behind him. He knows he's gonna roll again. You've got to slam the hips. But a great offensive takedown, going back to his underhook, throwing it by. Just a great job of stopping the roll here off his mat return. He feels the roll, sinks his hip, drives, rolls with it, gets the takedown, and with 30 seconds left, Kaiser's got to go on bottom.
There's an escape point, so a takedown could turn it.
Yeah, Kaiser's is gonna come heavy here. He's gonna put a lot of shots together. And if you're Bizgens, you're okay with taking a stall call here. You're up by 2 points. Oh, he takes a shot, gets out of position.
Kaiser trying every trick in the book under 10 seconds. Bizgens, great defense late, and NC State gets the decision.
A really great match there. Some awesome flurries. Bizgens does a great job. Hey, listen, when it's a minute left in the third period and you're tied up, you're always taught you want to be the guy going to create the offense. You want to go get your score. That's exactly what Bizgens did. He went to his underhook. He went to his single leg. He got a great finish. Kaiser got an escape, shut him down defensively, and got a big debut win for him and Reynolds. I know that's special for Bizgens.
Let's jump ahead to 157. And 2 veterans on the mat. First up for NC State, here comes the 3-time qualifier to the NCAA's, Ed Scott. And he'll take on Anthony Canetta, the redshirt sophomore. Ed Scott up to 9 in the country, an All-American. years ago. And this is one of the weight classes where NC State is hoping to score big points tonight.
Yeah, if you're NC State, you want to see Ed Scott come out and look for bonus points. At the Journeyman Collegiate Classic, he took 2 losses. As a coach, as the coaches in the NC State room, they want to see how Ed Scott is going to respond. Are those losses going to affect him, or are you going to come out and see some aggressiveness early on and look for big points? He's somebody that's known for going big. They call him the Ed Lock in Raleigh, and we'll see if we see one tonight. Already in on offense, attacking big. Could be a big throw here.
That's great position, but good defense from Canetta. Ed Scott has an ACC championship under his belt. He's looking for early points in round 1.
Like Canetta, very solid himself. He likes to dig an underhook with his left arm. He has a great high C attack from it. Ed also wants to be in an underhook position. So this is going to be a battle of underhooks. Ed will use his underhook to set up his fireman's carry as well, or he'll jack it up to look for his headlock or his body lock. So kind of a similar style here. Like to see who gets to their hook first and can score early.
A moment. And a quick turn. There's the takedown for Scott.
Yeah, Ed did a great job there of getting him in front head position and dragging to get to a takedown. Now he's on top. He's got a deep bar on this side. Scott's someone historically who's very good on top, looks for turns. If you're kinetic, you got to punch your arm through and get and be strong here. You don't want to give Scott an opportunity to tilt you up or work that half in on that side.
So blow the whistle.
Scott nearly 30 seconds of riding time. Blowing out this first period.
Still red. Stay legal with that pressure, Red. You're good.
Scott goes for that roll through. Just not going to have enough space on the edge of the mat.
Out of the mat, so they'll reset with 29 seconds.
And this is a little different than our other matches. Some of the, I mean, at 141 we had a takedown right away. In this and some of the other matches, guys kind of playing it out a little bit, hand fighting. We're right to action at 157. I think the fans love that. That's what Ed Scott wants to do. He wants action. He wants to score a ton of points and work for a bonus point decision here.
And our apologies, 125 now on the clock. They reset it. So officially halfway through this first period.
Still red. Still red. One green, you're neutral.
Good escape for App State with Randall Diabe in the 5th year. He's a 2-time qualifier, the top assistant in this weight class, 157.
Center.
See Ed getting back to that underhook. He's looking for this headlock. He's great here. He can crunch it and bring it down.
There's the crunch, and there's the position for the takedown.
I think what you saw there is Canetta felt himself in a bad position. If I keep fighting this, I could go to my back. I'm better off maybe putting my arm down, giving it the takedown, and live the fight another day as they get back to the center.
A chance for a quick word from John Mark Bentley.
38 seconds here. Very critical that Scott wants to ride this period out. 6-1 going into the second is a lot better than 6-2. Canetta on the other end, you got to work to get an escape here with short time.
And with over a minute of riding time, that extra point becomes a factor. Canetta in a jam with 20 seconds, needs an escape point. Hold on a second.
Ed's got him on his back. He's in trouble here. Canetta's in big trouble with the big half Nelson. 10 seconds. Ed's got short time to get this done.
Bonus points counting. Chance for the pin. Ed Scott, 1 second. Hangs on for dear life. And bonus points for NC State.
Wow. And Ed Scott follows what Canetta was rolling a lot in that first period. He feels that roll, he sinks a half, gets him to his back. Canetta, what a great job of fighting off his back though. So you'll see here, Canetta goes for a roll, Ed times it, sinks the half in. You also see a penalty point on Canetta for grabbing the singlet. In my opinion, sometimes you got to do anything you got to do to fight off the pin. A good idea for Canetta there.
Yeah, saving 1 point to avoid the total point.
For sure, for sure.
So it's 11-1 and riding time. With NC State on bottom to begin this round. Keep in mind, if you want that tech fall or 5 points, you have to win by 15 or more.
And with that 3-point takedown and 4-point back points, the score's already 12-1. You're immediately thinking, I want to go get a tech fall. I want to get my one, which he did. 2 takedowns makes this a tech fall.
This is almost self-defense mode then for Canetta, right? The next minute and a half?
Well, I think you need to regroup a little bit. The score's kind of gotten big very quickly. How can I slow things down a little bit, get to my #1 attack, get myself back into this match, and get some momentum on my side? This is a hard matchup for Canetta. Ed Scott has just been very, very good. An All-American, like we said. He's been in the NC State lineup for a long time. He's very good with that underhook, and that's also where Canetta is good. So he's going to have to find his offense from here, as he does in the underhook.
And Canetta gets the takedown. Great grab of the knee there.
Yeah, great job. Like I said, getting back to his #1. He got to his hook. He put Ed Scott in a position where he was getting an angle, and then it was an easy takedown as he drives over that far knee.
Escape point there for Ed Scott. Top 10 wrestler coming in at 157.
Fingers.
Would have finished 5th place 2 years ago.
Keep those hands legal.
Oh, great shot by Ed to get in on that leg. He wants to finish quick to avoid a scramble here as he's looking for a bottom leg cradle. Canetta slips out of it, drives through the far knee. Great takedown.
12-point lead with 20 seconds to go. All in line for that major decision here in round 2.
Yeah, it could be a big ride out here. 15 seconds. You don't want to give up any easy points if you're Scott on top. She looks to get a great breakdown. Impressed by Scott on that takedown. All of his other takedowns really came off that underhook. He switched it up a little bit. Instead of punching underhook, he does a little bit of a pass by with his forearm, create a different angle, get to a different attack, and finish.
So entering the 3rd period, it's 16-4, and that riding time point will, barring a miracle here, will go to NC State.
Yeah, and you can tell right now, both of these guys are definitely feeling it. It's a lot of hard wrestling for 5 minutes, and to still have 2 minutes on the clock. You know, Canetta's not out of this match. So like I said, with the 3-point takedown, things can change quickly. You want to see Ed be able to put this match away. You're up by 12. Can you go get 2 takedowns in the 3rd period to win? If you're Canetta, can you get back to that offense, your underhook, and get yourself back in this match, possibly saving a bonus point in the dual meet score?
NC State's won the last 2 matchups with that injury DQ as well. Scott turning. Look at Scott getting position.
Great job beating the dive roll. We've seen that a lot with college wrestling. More guys are grabbing as they leave their feet. The best way to do that is to slam the guy's hips into the mat. That's what Ed did there and got a great takedown.
And then you're able to get control with that outside hip, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Rest on the edge, gentlemen, rest on the edge.
19-5, right on the edge of a tech fall as they'll reset.
Yeah, minute 10 left here. The coaches are going to want Ed Scott to go get another takedown. And this is exactly what they were looking for him. Out of some tough losses last weekend, how are you going to respond in your home gym against a tough, scrappy App State wrestler who's just been improving each year? Are you going to go out and be offensive and get back to your stuff? And that's what we're seeing.
Ed Scott has secured the riding time point. So visualize in your mind, it's 20-5. Pardon me, 20-6.
Yeah, and you have some time here if you're Ed Scott, but you definitely don't want to wait. You know you're tired. You want to just stay in the zone and go get it right away. The longer you wait, the harder it is to score. Kind of see him force that shot a little bit. Canetta gets to a good position to kill some time here. Great high C by Scott.
That gets the position, and now a chance. And there it is. Big bonus points for NC State. Ed Scott stepping up.
Yeah, really great performance there by Ed Scott. I think that's really inspiring to see if you're an NC State fan. On the other side, Canetta stayed in there and scrapped. I think some rules that he did didn't go his way. I think you got to stay baseline a little bit, getting to your feet. But, that's a tough lesson to learn against someone that's experienced as Ed Scott.
When we come back, we have one of the biggest bouts of the night. Ed Scott getting on the board. Biskins doing as well. Some bonus points here for NC State. And we got the biggest matchup of the night when we return. 165 after this. Our Week 12 ACC Network lineup begins at 3:30 Eastern. Number 19, Louisville and Stanford wrap up the night with North Carolina. Week 4 is available on the ESPN app. How can you not drink from a fire hose of a great night for college wrestling? And we'll dive into our ranked matchup. Derek Fields, Will Miller. This is dynamic NCAA preview right here.
This is a great match, and definitely a match you could see as a preview for the national tournament, whether that's a first or second round matchup. A little bit of conflicting styles. You want to see, Fields wants to be from the open. He's got a great double leg attack. Miller will work on his right side. He has some great post singles. Very good on top. He wants to get a leg in, break the guys down, work for a turn.
Will Miller last year ended the season on a 15-match win streak as the SoCon champ at 165. Derek Fields, 3-time All-Academic. He went 8-2 in the duels, but these competitors, they have high expectations heading into March.
Sure, Fields is a guy that's improved a lot in the NC State lineup. He was a national qualifier a year ago, split some time with another athlete at 165, got the starting nod, and now this year the spot is his. The coaches want to see how he's going to take the torch and run with it. Will Miller, a guy that when we talked with Bentley, he's really the epitome of what Will Miller's the epitome of what he wants this program to be about. As Fields gets in on a deep shot here. Miller very good from this position. He'll scramble very well. He's good at going over the top and collecting ankles and rolling. It's like a stalemate here. Yep.
And we'll go neutral. John Mark Bentley noted with Will Miller. He said, his mom and I have kept him under my thumb the last 3 years, keeping him on track academically, keeping him working hard in the gym. And it's paying off here for App State.
You know it's trouble when the coach gets your mom on you. That's when you got to pick up the slack.
Nice to have that support here with a 5-time All-American Trent Heidley. I'm EvanBudrovich. Moving into about 5 of 10 tonight. An unfortunate injury for App State's Sean Carter, forced to DQ. Otherwise, we've had really good wrestling.
Another attack by Fields. Miller does a great job of stuffing it. In a good position, front headlock to start chasing some points. See Fields on the mat, squeezes that elbow, slows him down. Fields has taken 2 decent attacks, hasn't gotten completely deep. Miller done a great job defensively. Start to maybe look for his re-attacks or his offensive opportunities.
Derek Fields is blocking a lot of good shots from Miller here in this first round.
Fields will wrestle through positions very well. I had a really unique opportunity to wrestle with Derek a lot this past summer as I was getting ready for the World Team Trials. I had hurt my elbow, and I wanted someone that was a little lighter that I didn't feel like I'd get injured, and I was wrestling with Derek Fields almost every day. He was a stylistic bit of a nightmare for me. I had a hard time, when I use my weight, of course being 210 pounds, I could get to my takedowns, but he mixes it up very well. He's quick, he's got great leg attacks from the open, he's always dangerous in a lot of different positions.
A lineage of great wrestlers here for number 6 NC State as a team.
25 seconds left here. As I'll state numerous times, huge opportunity to get to a late takedown as Miller takes a great shot. Fields kicks out of it. Just the difference of being up 3-0 as 0-0 is just it's hard to overstate. From a confidence standpoint, but also the opponent mentally, that takes a lot out of you. When you look up the scoreboard and it was an even first period and you're down 3-0, it's like, man, I put a lot of work in not to show for it. It didn't happen here, but just talking through the mental side of those things, it's a big momentum shift.
Then you're fighting the 8-ball being on bottom or on top and possibly losing more points.
Yeah, so right now what we're going to see is going to be a big part of this match. Fields is going to go down. Miller's probably best position is getting to a leg in on top. If you're Fields and you're wrestling someone that's getting a leg in, you have got to explode right away to get to your feet. So you see he gets right up. You got to find hands. Miller gets that leg in. He's close to getting out. He gets that escape. That's huge for Fields. Confidence-wise, that's a big game changer here.
Only 8 seconds of riding time. That's impressive.
Well, I think what he did very well was he sealed off right away and he exploded. And those are the basic fundamental skills that you learn when you're a young wrestler. You do drills when you're a first-year wrestler, getting right up to your feet. Fields back in on a double, perhaps feeling some momentum here. Miller just doing a great job of stuffing. Probably looking at another stalemate.
That's the stalemate, our second of this second round.
You see Bentley, Coach John Mark Bentley looking at Miller. Look for your post. Look for your setup. When he reaches, we want you to post, get to that shot.
John Mark Bentley, who's been at Watauga High School in the Boone area, now the head coach here at 16 years at App State.
Miller really deep on the single. Fields trying to whizzer. Miller does a great job coming to his feet to get the takedown.
And the first points for App State.
Now he's got that leg in. Now he feels really comfortable here. What Miller did such a great job on that takedown is he didn't stay on his knees. When he got to the single leg, he brought Fields' leg right up in the air. When you get a guy's leg up in the air, your finishing percentage goes up big time. That was a great finish by Miller, and to put himself back on top, getting riding time with his leg in, great opportunity in the second period.
Another stalemate, but a big turn on the scorecard for Will Miller, who already has a ranked win over number 11, Andrew Sparks, in the Mountaineer Invite. He's a wrestler unfazed. You think of App State history at 165. They've had 3 All-Americans in this weight class. And Miller could be that next in his senior season.
Yeah, he looks great. He looks great this season. I think getting a taste of the national tournament a couple of times, it leaves you hungry. I got to get back there. I got to finish on the podium. What do I got to do a little bit differently? And I think they're doing a great job of developing him.
Keep in mind that riding time over a minute, you get the extra points. So at 38 seconds, it's still well in play.
So Fields does a good job off the restart to get an escape. Miller staying offensive, keeping Fields on the edge. Great tactic. When you're winning, you always want to keep the guy to the edge. When you're in the center of the mat, a lot of action can happen. If I'm the offensive wrestler and I'm winning, if I can get my opponent to the edge, it takes away a lot of their ability to move forward. I can kill some time. It's easier for me to down block shots. And if I get into a precarious situation, I can work to get myself out of bounds.
Final seconds here in the second period. And we'll head to the third. How about the offense here for Will Miller to extend the lead?
Well, I loved what he did here. Coach John Mark Bentley said, look for your post high C. He goes right to it, ends up in a head and side single. And this is what I'm talking about. He doesn't stay down here. He gets that leg right off the mat. It takes away a lot of the whizzer ability of Fields. Comes up,
and how about that scoop of the bottom leg,
no,
too?
It's great technique. You take out both the legs, and you go right for the takedown. It was awesome by Will Miller.
So App State a 2-point lead on the escape. Remember now in college wrestling, 3 points for a takedown. So this is far from over.
Yeah, so you'll see Fields fires off another double leg, and he's getting extended on it. Miller's got to read for it now. If you're Fields, yeah, you may want to go back to it, but you probably got to get a different setup. You got to get him moving and getting him to reach so you can get underneath his head and hands to get a takedown. If you're Miller, here's a situation. You're up 4-2. You don't want to shut it down quite yet. You don't want to go full defense mood. Just as Fields gets in the shot and he stuffs it again, like I said, you don't want to go full defense move. You want to look to put this match away, go up 7-2, and put the nail in the coffin.
Will Miller started his career at 126. He's been climbing up the weight classes. I was at the high school ranks. Now a 2-time All-SoCon champ, holding firm with 1:12 to go.
Kind of that same shot by Fields gets extended. This is a great position for Will Miller to be in to kill some clock here in the front head position. But he's looking to score, re-attack. Great athleticism by both guys to get out of that.
As you mentioned, heading to the corner of the mat.
Yeah, Miller doing a great job keeping Fields on the edge of the mat. And Fields is the guy that needs to score.
Oh, a chance for another takedown. He's got it. And 3 more points for App State.
Yeah, that was great wrestling by Miller. Like I said earlier, getting the guy to the edge, you start to panic, you take a bad shot. That's when I capitalize on a re-attack. Yeah, right here, he looks for his own offense, gets a piece of that leg, and a great job of finishing on the edge and not letting Fields get out of bounds.
Yeah, to grab that second leg for control right as Fields is crawling out of bounds. That takes some hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, it's hand-eye coordination. It's also wrestling IQ, knowing where your position is on the mat. Okay, how much length do I have with my leg to stay in bounds? How far can I reach? Do I have to pull the leg back in? And that comes through years of wrestling, and that's the experience of Miller. You know, he's been in high-profile matches. He's won high-profile matches. Those are types of things that you develop, that wrestling IQ that pays dividends in matches like this.
62 career wins for Will. And an App State crowd that had an early win in the first bout, but have watched NC State flip it in the previous 3.
Yeah, so if you're Miller, big thing here, you got 40 seconds of riding time. You've got to do whatever you've got to do to get that extra 20 seconds. Not a bad idea to even take a stall call to get yourself that 20 seconds, because if you get that minute, it makes it very, very hard for Fields to come back as he gets this breakdown. He's in good position here.
Riding time at 52 seconds and counting. You get to the full minute, you get the bonus point. 57. Oh, hold on. Okay, the escape with 57 on the clock.
I think Miller's looking for bonus points. I think he smells blood in the water. He likes the way that his offense is going. He wants to get another takedown.
Out of bounds with 15 seconds left.
So here's the thing. He's up by 4. If he gets a takedown with at least 3 seconds left, he's going to get a major decision, which is what he wants to do. Takedown puts him up by 7 with that riding time and extra point.
Final 8 seconds. Can App State get more bonus points? Miller wants the turn. And good defense there, so a decision for App State, but points on the board. It's 14-6.
Yeah, Miller did just a great job at mixing up his attacks. He was very quick on his re-attacks, controlling the center of the mat, getting Fields in a position to get Fields to panic, maybe take a bad shot. And I think that's the experience of Will Miller to get a big high-profile matchup win in Reynolds Coliseum.
We're halfway through, so we'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, more on the first Friday night duel of the season. App State, NC State. Will Miller keeping the Mountaineers in it here on ACC Network Extra. Welcome back to Reynolds Coliseum. It's a great Friday night for wrestling fans enjoying the video board. We're taking a quick intermission halfway through as NC State leads App State 14-6 through 5 bouts. Welcome back inside Reynolds. He's got a 5-time All-American here, Trent Hidley. I'm EvanBudrovich. So we're halfway through an injury DQ part of the story, but what have you noticed from the first 5 matchups?
Oh, it's been very competitive. I think outside of 157 with Ed Scott getting a tech fall, the match has been very competitive. What we talked about with both coaches about being aggressive, I think you're seeing that on both ends. And it's just coming down to who can win these little positions, who can get to their #1 attacks before the other guys can. And you know, I really I'd like to see guys come off the whistle and go right to their attacks right away. That was something I thought was a big part of my wrestling is I want to score right away. First 30 seconds, I want to go get to a takedown. And I think you're seeing that with some of these guys on both teams.
5-point win for Ed Scott with the 22-6 final, and then Will Miller, a ranked victory over Derek Fields. It does set the slate for the back half of the competition. And some weight classes where both clubs are mixing in lineups, finding their right spot. But it is interesting, Trent, because you've experienced this at 197 last year. What do we expect from Christian Knopp as he slides into that role?
Christian Knopp is someone who has been a big part of the NC State program these last few years. Finally getting his chance to start in the lineup. He's super athletic. He's one of the strongest people I've ever met. Very good double leg, just a great athlete. One of the, actually his senior year of high school, he was Alabama Athlete of the Year, which is just uber impressive. But we want to see him come out, you know, as an NC State fan, you want to see him come out, put some points on the board, and take over this 197 weight class.
So we move forward to 174. That's Matt Singleton taking the mat for NC State, the Moreland, Georgia product. And he takes on Luke Giuliano out of Powell, Ohio.
Good matchup here. Both guys very good on top with legs. Giuliano's best position is when he gets legs in to look for points. And Singleton, someone who's very explosive. He's going to look to score right off the whistle, so you got to get ready. Great underhook series by Singleton. He'll look to punch underhook and throw by.
Bout 6 is underway. We're at 174. Singleton, a redshirted last year. Spent a lot of time at 165, but bulking up here as a top 25 wrestler.
Yep, last year spent some time redshirting, you know, getting a little bit bigger for this 174 weight class, and there's big expectations for Matt Singleton, a big recruit coming out of Georgia in high school. He's expected to get into this 174 weight class and get to the national tournament and compete to win a national title.
It was a weight class where the Big Ten dominated, but Mekhi Lewis of Vatech finished 4th at 174 last year.
Giuliano, a great mustache.
That is elite.
I had wrestled Giuliano here a couple years back. I think it speaks a lot to his character. He weighed in at 174 and bumped up. They bumped him up to wrestle me at 184. Not an easy task as a true freshman, and you know, as a competitor that I competed against.
Looks like Giuliano's headgear's coming out a bit loose. It's that long, scraggly hair.
Yeah.
We did see a mullet earlier tonight.
Yeah, some interesting haircuts here. I like the mustache power. See just a little bit of jockeying for position here. Singleton got to his underhook early. Giuliano really strong and shut it down. Probably try to get back to that. He's also got a great post to a single on his right side. Probably his #1 attack. That is Singleton. And Giuliano's got to time that and make sure he's not getting caught reaching.
Giuliano finished 4th in the SoCons. We just missed the NCAA's last year. That's only a 2-bid weight class in the conference.
Yeah, Giuliano is a guy that App State is really looking to break through this year. Someone who's just constantly developed as he got to App State, constantly improved his skills, and is now, you know, competing at a high level with his team in dual meets at tournaments, and they're looking for him to break through and get to the national tournament this season.
He won his heat at the Southeast Open. He's done really well early in the year with a couple of big major decisions. And Singleton back in the top 25.
A re-attack there by Giuliano. Back to Singleton's great position here. Underhook. He gets the double unders. Looks to take him to his back.
Singleton.
Big throw by Singleton. He's got him in big trouble here. Looking for a fall.
And a big turn to escape from Giuliano.
Wow, super impressive by Giuliano to get off his back. Singleton just super explosive in that position. Very strong. Gets to double underhooks, gets Giuliano's feet off the mat, tries it, goes back to it again, gets him to his back, gets a takedown, the 4-point near fall. All of a sudden it's 7-0. Let's get another look at this. goes the trip, gets him stood up, gets that leg in. Just really impressive. And Singleton is a guy that has a Greco-Roman background. He was a Greco-Roman U20 World Team member a couple years back, went to the World Championships, someone who feels really comfortable upper body. And if I'm him and we get back to more feet, I'm forcing that position again.
A chance to clear up some blood, and what a assault there, 7 points. He's playing with a bloody nose, and he's getting after it.
Now, people are probably sick of me saying it, but scoring at the end of the period. If you're Juliano, you just went to your back. How do you respond? Get to your feet, get your escape. Stop the bleeding a little bit, get to 7-1 going into the second period. So he goes for a roll there.
Riding time continues for Singleton. There's a good turn, maybe a chance for a late takedown. There's more points.
And continuing to stay on top. Juliano never did break away to get his one escape, so Singleton stays in the top position. He gets his leg in, getting off balance here. Juliano close to getting out.
That ends the first period. That's a big point round for NC State.
Yeah, very close there to a reversal for Juliano, but Singleton kept his head and his arm wrapped and didn't give up the reversal. Really important there not to give up points going into the second period. Now we're going into Juliano's wheelhouse. If he can get to a leg and break him down, he feels really comfortable on top. Singleton, got to get to your feet right away. Don't want to spend any time on the mat.
And round 2 is underway here at 174.
He gets him into that crab ride. He throws his leg in. Now he's going to look to try to get his hips up on top. Singleton wants to do a good job of making sure that leg doesn't come in.
Juliano, great control here in the first 30 seconds. And now Singleton flipping the script. Gets out with the escape.
And that was great work by Singleton, and something that I always love to do when someone had legs in on me, I never felt comfortable sitting to my hip and trying to get the leg out. If I could get to my feet and put the pressure on that guy having to mat return me, because if he doesn't mat return you there, it's a stall call. So get to your feet, keep your balance. He either gets hit for stalling or he cuts you for the escape. Great job by Singleton.
Matt Singleton, he used his cat-like reflexes to get out of that trouble. He actually owns a cat named Zuko after Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, Singleton is a big cat guy. I have a cat of my own. That's our big topic of discussion. We always, he's always got good updates on his cat.
Wrestlers and cats, lost souls, getting after it here in Reynolds Coliseum tonight.
Juliano does a great job getting to this single. This is another big, strong point of Singleton I didn't mention earlier. His baseline defense is some of the best in the country. When he's fresh and he can get to his baseline defense, he's really, really impressive. Juliano had a great shot. He was in great position. Didn't really make a mistake. It's just super hard to score on a guy like Singleton there.
So a stalemate will reset things with an 8-0 start. Halfway towards bonus points. He's already at a major decision here.
And because Singleton is a little younger, some people that may not know about him, he's not necessarily someone that's going to put on a threatening pace. He's not going to shoot a ton, but when he picks his spots, he wants to score efficiently.
That ends round 2. Remember, App State will be on bottom here. Singleton, as a freshman, he finished 4th in the ACC, redshirting and now stepping up in year 3.
Yeah, I think he feels a lot more comfortable at 174. 165 was a hard weight for him to make as a true freshman. Now as 174, he can kind of settle into it a little bit and take ownership of that. Juliano seems pretty dangerous on bottom. Singleton gets to a cross wrist roll. He's got to push that elbow through and drive through. Right now he's pulling it back to get his leg in, which he feels comfortable with. Yeah, well, Juliano really dangerous when the guy has a leg in. Yeah.
And then reverses him.
I think that might be a benefit. If you're really good at legs, you're typically really good at getting out of legs. And I think that's what you saw out of Juliano there. Singleton got his leg in. I think Juliano was, that's the position that he wanted. He was able to get Singleton to his hip, get to his reversal, and now he's with his leg riding in good position.
He can erase the riding time as well, so that won't play a factor in points.
Yeah, they're going to let Juliano work on here. You know, 1 minute in the third period. He would likely have to get 3 takedowns to tie this match up. Or on top, you get a 4-point near fall, you get another near fall. You know, that's probably your quickest way to getting back in this match. I think we're going to see him try to commit to a turn. So Singleton just got hit for stalling there. If a guy has a leg in and you're kind of just balled up and on the mat, it's a pretty easy call for the ref to make that stall call. Juliano sensing a little bit of, maybe frustration, needs the score, cuts him, gets right back in on the leg.
Really good position. Can he capitalize here? Singleton with the block inside of 20 seconds.
NC State coach is begging Singleton to turn this into his own offense if he can get a takedown for a major decision. Going to be hard to do with how deep Juliano is.
1 point away from that major. Juliano's got hands tight, no real room to escape. And a 3-point decision for NC State.
Yeah, great win by Singleton. Another great Reynolds debut for him. Well, actually, I don't know if he's wrestled any at 165, but at 174, a great win for him to start his home dual meet season. Pretty impressed by Juliano there. Going to your back right in the end of the first period to go down 7-0. Fighting back in the match, ending up a 9-2, decision. Obviously, you never want to lose, but a lot of fight by Juliano there to stay in the fight.
So Coach Pat Papalizio getting ready as we move into round 6 of 10. And this could be an interesting matchup. Tomas Brooker with a ton of experience. He was a SoCon champ at 184. And Dylan Fishback, this is a new role, new position, new opportunity. You mentioned debuts. What a chance here for the number 14 ranked wrestler.
Yeah, this is a big match. These guys actually met last year in the dual meet. Fishback had an early pin, but Brooker, as a true freshman, has continued to get better. He qualified for the national tournament as a true freshman. Very difficult to do. Now he's back in his sophomore season. Fishback, a redshirt sophomore, very talented. A lot of great leg attacks. Actually, fun fact, my current roommate as well. So that's pretty cool. But this is going to be a great match. I think Brooker's someone that's improved a lot, and this is a different matchup than it was last year.
It was a quick fall victory in a minute and a half for Fishback when these guys met last year.
Fishback is another one of the NC State guys that took a couple of losses last weekend, and the coaching staff is really looking for him to come out and be explosive and score points early.
So let's kickstart 184 in about 7 to 10.
Keep those hands legal.
Brooker has some great re-attacks. He often gets guys in position where they take a bad shot, and then he looks for his re-attacks on both sides. So if you're Fishback, you got to be careful taking a bad shot. Just as I say that, he gets in on an ankle. Here he's got to get his arm out of that whizzer. It's very tight with Brooker. If you're Fishback, pick up at that knee, get to a body lock, great takedown.
There's Fishback with position. First points for NC State. Brooker is a freshman with a couple of upsets in the SoCon tournament. Earned his first ever win against Duke in the non-conference when App State dominated Duke. Fishback leaning on what Coach Papalizio calls a wealth of knowledge, very technically sound. You would know it living with him day to day, but he's putting that to work here early.
Fishback is a really, really good wrestler from all positions, and it's extremely dangerous to wrestle. Just as I say that.
Another possible knee injury here.
Injury time,
So
Green.
we'll show this just once.
Back on the takedown.
Oh, pardon me, this is the takedown.
Guys, just remember there's no coaching. So there's no coaching during the injury timeout.
We're just joining us. Sean Carter at 141, also disqualified via injury. We'll see how Tomas Brooker responds. Hopefully he's okay. Great training staff. Anika Garcia, Jill Steinbreck have been busy tonight.
Yeah, that's a tough situation there. Fishback was on top, running a cross wrist roll from his feet. As he was running that, it looks like Brooker's knee kind of buckled in. Obviously really unfortunate, and hopefully he's all right.
They'll try to stand up Tomas, the Harrisburg, North Carolina native. He's having trouble putting weight on that left leg.
Yeah, and this is tough. As a North Carolina native, like, this is a big match that you get up for, and you certainly don't want it to go this way. But like I said earlier, man, these guys are warriors. You never want to be taken out of a match, and if you have the opportunity to finish, you're always going to, these guys always want to try to finish the matches. And, Brooker's a very tough kid, very gritty, very standard for App State guys. They are going to grind through a lot, and I expect no different from Brooker here.
Yeah, Tomas Brooker from Hickory Ridge High School across the state.
Ready? Stop the time.
Dylan Fishback. Good to see both these guys ready to roll.
So what you're seeing here, when there's injury time in college wrestling, it immediately goes to the other wrestler's choice. So with Brooker's injury time, the choice goes to Dylan Fishback. He wants to go down to work to get his escape and build his lead to 4-0, which he does.
In the nick of time. Now great position on Brooker, always holding that knee real tight. And there's a dangerous moment for Tomas Brooker.
Yeah, he's just not going to be able to put any weight on that. It's going to make it really difficult to finish. And, Fishback got out right away, went to an attack. And, this early in the season, too, it's hard to be able to wrestle through an injury like that.
Give them all the credit in the world for trying, but
yeah, absolutely.
Too much tonight.
It's a lot. And I think, especially early in the season, you certainly don't want to risk anything too much. But, he's a warrior. He wants to finish, especially a big dual meet like this.
So an injury DQ will wrap up this 184 round. And when we come back, we'll wrap up the final 2 rounds of the night, 197 and heavyweight, when we return.
hard to keep up.
Tomorrow at noon Eastern, ACC Network. A couple of stars for Duke. Freshman Cooper Flagg and Con Knippel lead the number 6 Blue Devils against Wofford in Cameron Indoor Stadium. Not just big stars on the hoop room, big stars in Reynolds Coliseum. That's a Trent Hidley t-shirt, rocking and rolling tonight.
They still love me here, I think.
And your replacement, quote unquote, in the weight class, Christian Knopp gets his debut at 197 here at home, takes on Carson Floyd, an all SoCon caliber wrestler, 197.
Yeah, great matchup here. These guys wrestled last season. Knopp took the victory 8-6, so expect a close matchup. Knopp is someone that's very explosive, very athletic, wants to shoot from space. He's got a great super duck as well, so he'll score from a lot of different positions. Floyd, another guy, he'll hand fight very hard. He's got some great open attacks from the open.
Floyd, the SoCon Freshman of the Year a couple of years ago. He's been a great career, and Knopp from Anniston, Alabama. You don't hear that name too much on the collegiate ranks.
Yeah, Knopp coming from Alabama, the Alabama Athlete of the Year as a senior, super impressive. Will Miller, earlier that wrestled, another Alabama guy. Kind of cool to have two Bama guys in here. You don't see that a lot. You see Knopp get into an underhook, and you know, Knopp has been a big training partner of mine, someone I wrestle with a lot, and we've been working the underhook position. It's kind of my #1 position, and I think he's developed it pretty well. He's super strong. He's good at getting in there and throwing it by to a single. Just needs some more practice in it. I think he feels pretty comfortable in it right now. I also see Floyd with the old school halo headgear. Looks like he's from the 1970s. I like that. Doesn't really look that comfortable, but it looks pretty cool.
You get the Rocky vibes watching that going to work.
There's that open shot from Knopp. Floyd does a great job to bring him up to this over-under. You see Knopp working from that over-under. In the progression there in that position is after you take that shot, as soon as you get to that underhook, you're looking to score right away. The longer that you wait, the easier it is for the opponent to sink into that position and take away your attacks.
Floyd doing a great job keeping his distance with that long wingspan.
Another attempt by Knopp, comes back into that underhook, and just like I said, you want to go right into it, which he tries to do. Floyd does a great job with defending. I'll tell you what, these guys look a lot bigger than I did when I wrestled 197.
Which was not too long ago, my friend. It's a hustle.
It's a great attack by Floyd, trying to pop the elbows. Knopp gets off of it.
Let's keep wrestling here.
Floyd's got his hands locked. Can he build up? It's a lot of weight to get up.
Stalemate. Something your best action around one.
And that may be the difference between, you know, a heavier weight in 125 or 133. When those lighter guys get to those legs, they can create different scrambles. When you're bigger like that, it is just really hard to pull that weight in when you're underneath.
Under 20 seconds in this defensive first round. Knopp, who slid into the rankings after a nice week. 30 overall.
Yeah, pretty even there after the first period. As you go into the second period, looks like Floyd for App State has choice. This could be a match that's very close. Could come down to mat wrestling. Floyd's going to defer. Knopp's going to go down. A minute and a half of riding time could be a really big deal in this match because it may not come down to a takedown. It could be mat wrestling that decides it.
So round 2 underway. And hold on, we have an injury on the ankle of Knopp. Oh boy. Immediately in pain. Let's hope he's okay.
Injury time red.
Athletic training staff for NC State going to work. Cody Armstrong and his crew. And unfortunately tonight we've seen a couple of injuries for App. Let's hope Knopp's okay, but that face certainly tells the story.
Yeah, didn't see much there. Floyd threw a leg in on top. I don't know if he rolled over. It looks like he was pointing to his ankle. Yeah, see here. Yeah, it just seems to kind of roll over that ankle or the knee.
Yeah, you mentioned all the weight being placed too on that leg. Unfortunately, that can be a part of it.
Yeah, Napa's on his feet, and here's the thing, with wrestling, when you're put in some of these positions, sometimes some things happen, and it's not that you're overreacting, but it's like when you feel something like that, it really does shock you, and you know, you may end up being all right, but for that split second, you know, your life kind of gets flipped upside down, and the last thing you want is to be out for the season when you put so much into this. So, and just like earlier, what you see is because Nop called injury time, Floyd gets choice here. He's going to go down.
So can Floyd escape and get the first point?
Red in control, one green.
Entangling there, so App State up 1.
And glad Nop was okay. If he's gonna, we'll see kind of, I think this period will tell us a lot if he's able to drive off that leg. He gets a lot of power from space with his open doubles. If he's not able to use that ankle and that drive, it'll come into, you know, he'll have to find a different way to score.
How do you feel like Nop's moving with that ankle right now?
You know, it seems like he's doing all right. I mean, he's very strong. Floyd just takes advantage, takes a great shot.
Chance for an early takedown.
Doubles off. He doesn't have it yet. He's very close. Floyd's really close. He's got to continue to drive and get Nop to his other hip as he does.
There's a 3-point.
And he has a bottom leg Turk here. This is a great turning opportunity for Floyd. He's got to, he wants to arch, get that foot up in the air, and cross face on Nop and get him extended. As Nop just keeps wrestling, gets a reversal.
Really nice work from Nop.
Yeah, good response by Nop. Floyd, I think, smelled blood in the water a little bit on his feet, went right to his attack, got a great shot, great finish, right into a Turk position. Nop sits into it, gets a reversal of his own, and now with 38 seconds left, with Floyd, he just gets an escape, so 5-2. Yeah, if you're Nop, you really got to try to get some offense going here. Floyd's choice in the third.
When App has won bouts, they've scored early, including at 133. With a block here, 8 seconds left. Looks like both wrestlers content heading to round 3.
Yeah, we'll go into period 3 here. Floyd's going to get his choice. He's gotten out relatively easy each time. Nop only has 5 seconds of riding time. So Floyd takes a great shot. He's in this crackdown position. He gets his hands locked. He drives through. And now you see that bottom leg Turk. A great opportunity to score. Nop just does a good job of keeping up with the position. You know, he turns into it, gets an inside grip on that leg, and goes right to his own reversal.
So period 3 underway.
Yeah, so if you're looking at that, you know, Floyd did go down, not put him up on his feet to give him the escape, so he has more time to go get takedowns.
NC State with a win could all but clinch the team points in this competition. Oh, and Nop,
Stop.
Same ankle.
Injury time, Red.
A home debut for Nop, who's been working so hard to get back on the mat.
Yeah, it looked like he went to attack that, and you know, it looks like his knee, ankle is just really compromised right now.
We'll see if Pat Papalizio goes for the injured DQ or how it all unfolds. And the head coach going to elect to call this one. Tremendous effort from his wrestler. But an injury DQ for Christian Nop gives App State points.
Yeah, really unfortunate circumstances here tonight, and it's, you know, it's pretty crazy to have one injury DQ in a night, and to have 3 is just really rare. Maybe because it's so early in the season that you haven't quite gotten yourself accustomed to that level of high-level wrestling, but it stinks.
So Floyd gets 6 points for App State. Let's head to the heavyweights now, and it's a ranked wrestler for NC State. This could be real fun. Isaac Trumbull ready to rock and roll. Number 7, and Levi Andrews, who fills some big shoes for App State. He's replacing an all-conference with 2 qualifying appearances. This could be one of the bigger bouts of the night.
Yeah, Andrews is coming in a little bit underexperienced. Trumbull is coming up off of a redshirt year. He originally was at 197 for a couple years. Redshirt last year, had one of the best summer and springs in redshirt years you can think of. Won a U23 world title. Got second at the Olympic team trials, losing to Kyle Snyder in 2 close matches. Now he's got an opportunity to go up to heavyweight and prove himself on the heavyweight scene at the NCAA level.
So our final 2 bouts underway. Owen Treff and Isaac Trumbull. It was kind of up in the air who would get the job, but Trumbull, one of the captains here for NC State, earning the bid.
Yeah, and Trumbull, like Singleton's, very good upper body. He's got great defense, not afraid to go big, great pinning combinations on top. Trumbull wants to get a takedown. One thing he's been working a lot this past season is his leg attacks. He's known for his defense. He's very hard to score on, but he's starting to up his level. And, you know, commit to his leg attacks, have a primary leg attacks that he can score on the best guys in the country.
This is a great state for heavyweights. Tay Gadiali of Campbell earned an All-American last year. With an ACC and SoCon, 2 conferences that are hungry to get back on the podium this year.
Yeah, Trumbull and Gadiali wrestled last weekend in their dual meet. Really fun match. A lot of great scrambling by 2 heavyweights. Trumbull came out with a 2-1 win. And great way to start off the season.
He's just Trumbull up to 7th as he looks for great position here.
And you see some of those hips by Trumbull as he gets him onto his back, gets legs in.
A chance for a pin. Look at a turn here, Trumbull, holding the neck down of Andrews. Andrews fighting for his life. Trumbull right on the edge of those 2 shoulders and gets out of it with major points. Well, 4-point takedown.
Yeah, Trumbull is, we talked about his defense a little bit. His hips are very heavy, very unorthodox. You don't wrestle many guys that can move their hips like that. It looks like he's in really bad position, but he feels so comfortable there that it's so hard to wrestle against. And he's just really strong.
He's looking for fighting time becoming a factor.
He's looking for a bundle arm here. As long as he's got that bottom arm trapped, he's looking to take it over his head. Andrew's doing a great job of getting his hands locked.
Go red.
And Trumbull is still on top here.
You see Trumbull checking that clock too, getting a sense of how much riding time he has.
Yeah, and I think that was a position where he kind of knew you were going to get a stalemate, and you don't want to give up on an escape. Here you see this takedown, and kind of look how he steps over the leg. You know, a lot of times guys think they're out of position, but he feels so comfortable feeding his hips in there to get this takedown and back points.
It's not just Shakira. Those hips don't lie for Trumbull. He's very versatile for a heavyweight.
And I think that's the benefit of wrestling 197 a little bit, is understanding how people move, you know, and then going up to heavyweight. Yes, it looks like it's a lot slower, but having that experience at a lower weight can really help guys. And, you know, heavyweight in this day and age, you know, these guys move really well. They wrestle through positions and they get angles extremely well.
Here's a turn, maybe a chance for a late pin. Closing out the period strong.
That's tight. That's really tight.
Another takedown. Bonus points coming in. Trumbull has him, and a pin puts it away.
Yeah, big pin gets Reynolds Coliseum to their feet. A little bit of dance moves for Trumbull there. And I think that's a long-waited return for him. You know, the redshirt year was hard. He wants to be in the lineup. He gets back into the center stage, uses those hips. And what you saw there was an interesting technique, okay? That speaks a little bit of his freestyling Greco background. And what he did was a head pinch, and that's not something you traditionally see in folk style because it's hard to control them on their back. He goes head pinch, steps over, gets the guy to his back, and gets a big pin.
We'll take the timeout. Final matchup when we return. NC State coming to life here in Reynolds. 'Tis the season for holiday cheer. NC State wrestling back here at Reynolds Coliseum, making fans happy of all ages. Down to our final bout, 125 ACC Wrestler of the Week. Vince Robinson and Noah Luna, first-year starter for App State. Could be a fun matchup here at 125.
Yeah, Vince Robinson's one of the most anticipated guys in this lineup for NC State fans. He's extremely electric, really high-flying, flashy moves, super dangerous, and a lot of swagger to him as well. Noah Luna on the other side, some great attacks. Has a previous win over an All-American at Eddie Ventresca a couple years ago. Really solid on top. He can scramble really well. So this could be a really fun matchup.
Noah Luna, who also battled UNC at 125, lost 6-8. He's been real competitive in some big matches. It was fun talking to Coach Papalizzo about Robinson filling this role, finding his confidence. And he said once he got that size right at 125, he's been taking over this year.
Yeah, especially at that weight class. When you have a guy that can control his weight and do it the right way, it makes a big difference for them. That is not an easy weight class for a college athlete to make. But when you can be disciplined and do it right, it makes a big difference.
Good start for Robinson.
There you see some of that really exciting offense. He went for a drag on the one side, right to an underhook to an opposite side takedown for a takedown. Matt returns Luna really hard off the bat. A little bit of attitude to Vince Robinson. I think that's exactly what Pat is looking for. You know, get to this attack, get the leg up in the air, big finish. And when you're on top and you get that opportunity to get a big mat return, it sends a message.
It's a weight class that Jacob Camacho has dominated with 3 trips to the NCAAs. Robinson getting his chance last week. And what a response, 3 ranked wins.
Yeah, Robinson's very hungry to be in the lineup. He was a talented recruit coming in. He redshirted last year. And a guy that he always wants to be in the spotlight. He always wants to be the guy that's center stage. And now he's getting his opportunity to do that, and he's running with it.
Luna with the escape. 20 career wins for Noah.
Both guys, action center.
A bit of hand fighting here early in round 1. But then a quick turn and a takedown for Robinson.
Yeah, just really slick. Robinson does such a good job of controlling wrist and using those to do drags and snap downs. And it's very unique. It's not an easy takedown to get. Luna had a great response when he got up to his feet. He was pressuring Robinson, getting him to the edge. Robinson did a good job circling back in. Pretty slick takedown there with the wrist drag.
And what's the adjustment for Luna? Because we see Coach Bentley offering some wisdom.
Well, I think one thing for Luna is you've got to match that intensity. Yes, he's very athletic, he's very fast. You have to match the intensity. You've got to bring the hand fight and try to slow him down a little bit. Get to a control tie. For him, you know, if you can get to two wrists, get to an underhook, get to a collar tie, something that you can slow down things from the open and get things, settle down here a little bit and work for your offense.
Let's improve, gentlemen. Let's improve.
Luna getting back up to his feet, finding hands. Robinson finding that cross wrist rule, looking for a tilt.
Now riding time at a full minute. So that's a big advantage for Robinson.
Stay legal on those fingers.
Talking to this NC State staff, they said once he found his rhythm, and it's so dangerous to compete against with that aggressive mentality. We're seeing it tonight.
Yeah. And here it is, 40 seconds. He's not going to go off the gas pedal. He's going to look to score again. Luna, you want to try to get another takedown. Get another takedown, make it 6-5 towards the end of the first period. Yeah, you got taken down twice early, but if you can go get one here, it changes things. See Robinson fighting those fingers and wrists again. Finds another leg attack. Gets the foot off the mat. Collects both ankles for a takedown.
Another takedown for Vince Robinson. Fresh off a Wrestler of the Week in the ACC.
Right to a turn. He's got a cross wrist roll. He rolls through. He's going to go again. He's got to settle his hips. When he rolls through, he's got to get his foot in the mat to stop it. He's not going to end up getting it.
Coaching staff telling him to hold on after a great first round.
Well, and I finally get to talk about scoring at the end of the period with a takedown. You know, right here, getting to a leg with short time, 15 seconds left, getting the foot off the mat, taking away the scramble, ending up getting to the 2 legs, and he ends up attacking the wrist. Doesn't get the turn, but he gets the ride out to go up 9-2 starting into second. Huge takedown.
Stylistically speaking, what do you think of the knee guards there, the Cliff Keen product knee guards?
You know, I told you, Robinson, he's got a little bit of swagger to him. He's smiling up at the crowd. You know, this is a guy that just loves this. You know, he's been waiting to be in Reynolds, to put on his knee pads, to look the part. You'll see you know, he's going to enjoy himself, but Luna's in his position right now. He's very good with legs in. He'll get legs, he'll attack power halves. You know, and this is somewhere where he thinks that he can score. Robinson has the leg and the underneath there.
Robinson's hands so active to fight those feet off.
Yeah, Luna's really close to back points here. Never did quite break that plane. And Luna's just really strong. Vince Robinson then's going to end up getting this reversal.
What a great job coming from behind there. Robinson with 2 more. Now in the zone of bonus points for NC State as Luna climbs out of play.
Yeah, 11-2 here. Robinson on top. And I think stylistically understanding.
5-time All-American here. He's rocking and rolling in his broadcast debut.
Yeah, a little bit of a different seat for me in this house. Yeah, I'm getting a warm ovation.
He's got you here in Reynolds as well.
Yeah, no, I love my time here in Reynolds, competing. I can see a couple people raising the roof. I'm glad to pass the torch off to a guy like Vince Robinson, who's at Electric. Yeah, but I think, you know, with Robinson here, Luna's pretty dangerous on the mat. You want to stay on your feet. You want to work your takedowns. You don't want to risk, you know, letting him get on top and get to a turn. You see some of that nifty wrist stuff
on App State.
And he ends up getting a stalling warner. Luna kicks out of it and gets out of bounds. Yeah, it caught me off guard there with the camera coming on me.
The electricity of over 130 career wins for Trent Hidley. Not Hidley family. You guys have records all over the place here in Reynolds.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome here. It's good. I'm really glad that I can stay around and help with my role as an RTC athlete, helping these guys develop and continue to raise the level of NC State wrestling.
Your brother Hayden, who starts on the Stanford coaching staff this summer, well, he'll come to Reynolds in February for a fun bout.
Yeah, it'll be a good homecoming for him. Stanford has a great team, a lot of really talented young individuals. Head coach Chris Ayers has done just an awesome job to get that program into a really competitive state, and it's going to be a great dual meet here, a lot of great matchups.
Another takedown, and Robinson once again closing a period with points.
Yeah, another great attack by Robinson. This time has to fight for it a little bit more. Gets into that sit the middle, or you know, head in the middle position. Ends up working to get both ankles and gets a takedown. Up 14-3 going into the third period. You know, give him an escape. You want to work to get your riding time. Make sure you get that point. Give him escape. 14-4. Get a takedown. Put it to 17-4. Maybe cut him again, then you only need 1 more takedown. So he's looking at 2 takedowns here for a tech fall, and I know that's in his mind of what he wants to do.
As NC State's clinched the team points, a chance for Robinson to put on 1 more show.
I think Luna's going to want to try to create some type of action from the mat here. Maybe try to get a reversal, get back on top where he can score.
Those guys wrestle here. 1 green.
Good escape for Luna.
Again, Luna going to try to slow things down here. Get a tie up. Don't let Vincent Robinson work from space. A duck under attempt by Robinson. Luna sneaks it out.
Look at Robinson jumping up. Yeah, that's how to play. Reset neutral here. He is a high flyer.
I told you, he's electric. He does some very unorthodox things, but he's just super athletic, and it works for him. You know, there's a misdirection single coming up right to a double. It's just super high-level wrestling.
Maybe the best takedown of the night with a low snatch.
I was in his corner last weekend, and Pat kept looking at me and saying, "Why don't you do that some of that stuff?" I was like, "Man, I don't have those skills to do that." You know, I did some things really well.
My vertical's about 2 inches.
Yeah.
I'm limited.
Did some things really well. I can't do anything quite like that. Look at this misdirection. Fake to his left side, come back to that right side, pop up, collect both legs, get the takedown. Cut some. Now he needs 1 takedown for a tech.
Final minute of this closing period. This will wrap up the night.
Fingers.
About 10 of 10. An App State program that'll host West Virginia next week. And NC State will be right back at home for Utah Valley with Rutgers coming up.
Another duck under, ended up getting to 2 legs, working to finish here. It's going to be a tech fall for Robinson. Really just a clinic in terms of different attacks, a variety of attacks. Some flashy, some really basic. And the Reynolds Coliseum is going to love this kid. They're going to love this team, especially Vincent Robinson.
The reigning ACC Wrestler of the Week puts on a show to close out the home opener for NC State. And Trent, what a performance here for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, it was a great dual meet. I think the dual meet score was a little lopsided. You see 34-12. A lot of injuries here. 3 matches that were guys couldn't continue, but don't let the score fool you. App State came here and they scrapped really well. A great win at 133. They competed really well. Got a win at 197 with the injury default. And the highlight match of the night, Will Miller at 165 getting the decision over Derek Fields. They attacked early off the whistle. The Wolfpack just a little bit too much firepower down the stretch. A
fun in-state rivalry as NC State, number 6 team in the country, wins its 12th straight over Appalachian. Thanks for joining us tonight here in Reynolds for the 5-time All-American Trent Hidlay, his broadcast debut, the home debut for the Wolfpack as well, as they gear up for a top 25 matchup with Rutgers. Thanks for joining us here in Reynolds. I'm Evan Budrovich. This is a presentation of ESPN. For Daniel Zofel, for Josh Monk and our talented production crew, we say good night. This is a presentation of ESPN. NC State off and running. A couple of bonus point wins, and the Wolfpack roll over App State in their home opener.